Hey, what's going on YouTube? Warstorm here with another video today talking about it's basically just another replay vid, but it's another episode of the Stupid Replay Vids. If you'd like, I'd appreciate it if you check out some of the other episodes in the series where I test out a lot of other deck theories, such as testing the Atlantean card and testing the Art of the Star Seraph Splashable theory. So anyway, but I'll get to this video. So today I'm doing Blackwings and showing off some of the new support cards and showing off if they can be competitive. This is kind of the most standard build you're going to see, in my opinion. So anyway, so I'm playing against Shaddolls, but with the kind of with some of the Lightsworns and Monarch cards. My thing with Lightsworn Shaddolls is, though, I don't just completely distaste the deck. I just feel like if you're gonna run Lightsworns, like, you just go all in or you don't run them at all. So anyway, so I'll go ahead and get to the video. So he goes first, goes charge the Light Brigade, and then mills is like one of the worst mills ever, and then goes Raiden, mills 2 more, manages to mill a Hedgehog, and then searches, and then he does mill out a Shaddol Dragon, which again is irrelevant because I don't have any back row in my hand anyway. So I go Panaka into Bora, and then into Gale, and then half his monster. And because obviously he has no back row, there's no point in synchro summoning yet, so I attack, and then attack with Bora. Now, I might have done a bit of a misplay here, but regardless, the results are what they are. I decided to synchro for Clearwing Synchro Dragon because Panaki's restrictions only allow you to make Blackwing Synchro monsters, which isn't too much of a restriction considering it's a Garn whenever it hits the graveyard. So my thought with making Clearwing Synchro Dragon was that in case I had a feeling he might, if he's gonna fuse for free, a construct for free from the deck, I'd rather have something that can negate construct's destruction effect. So unfortunately he Stormforce away my Clearwing, and then sets a Shaddol Beast. And I know it's a Shaddol Beast because why would he set something? So anyway, so I'm normal summoning Kalut, and obviously as a Blackwing, if you play Blackwings, if you're normal summoning Kalut, you're in a pretty bad position. But considering what's in my hand, if he doesn't have something like Gorge or something like that, like even with Gorge, this is basically game. So I special summon Orochi. Now, those of you who don't know what Orochi is, basically you can special summon it when you control a Blackwing card, much like Bora or Chris or numerous other Blackwing monsters. But what's cool about this one is it's a level 1 tuner, and when it's sent to the graveyard as synchro material, it can change a monster's battle position. And because I know in a way I kind of have game, I use Oroshi's effect to flip his Shaddol Beast face up, because I really don't care about giving him like one little extra plus, because I know I have game, even with Falco on the field. So I use Hawkjoe's effect to bring back Nothung, and then I have his Beast with Gale. I swing into his, and then hit him Kalut for game. Because a lot of people who haven't spent a lot of time playing Blackwings tend to forget is that Kalut isn't like Honest or Bujing or Crane, in that Crane and Honest can only be dropped when your monster is battling another monster, whereas with Kalut you can drop it at any time. So people will usually see Kalut coming, but people won't see you Kaluting them for game. The other thing I really like about Kalut is if you really just want to blow out your opponent, you can drop multiple copies on the same monster, which is kind of crazy. But I really like that aspect of Blackwings, is that even with the new support, I feel like Kalut just becomes a better card. So through the magic of editing, I will be switching replay videos and we're back. So now this is the second replay. So I'm playing like a kind of really dated hero build where I actually don't mind it when people build it without mass change, but he's running so many. I've never seen legitimately seen a hero build with this many normal monsters and Avian. And Avian, I mean why would I don't understand why anyone would even run Avian, even less Stratos ban. So this is pretty much a typical Blackwing opening for the most part. You just one monster's a few back row and I pass, and he dualities into Gold, and then Gold Sark's Rainbow Dragon. I'm thinking, keep in mind I really started getting back into the game during the Zixel era, so I've never actually seen a lot of these new Neos fusions. So I went ahead and attack his monster because I figure, well, why not? I have Icarus attack in case he has something like Deep Prison. So he gets a search, and for some reason he called the Haunted back, his Shadow Mist, and my thinking is, well, first off, you don't get this, you've already gotten your search, but why do you call the Haunted it back when you're not even running Mass Change? Like, it felt like I hate to say it, but it felt like a pointless play. So anyway, like, he knows he's got one more turn to wait for Rainbow Dragon, so he just sets his AV on and passes. So it's my turn, so I'm just going to attack his face down, but he negate attacks me, and I'm like, brah, we're in a negate attack is not a thing anymore. We're in a format where Mirror Force is and D Prisoner at 3. Come on, man. So he draws another negate attack, but he also he goes Blaze Man and then searches Poly, and then Poly summons a Rainbow Neos. And keep in mind, I've never actually seen a Rainbow Neos. I just saw that. I didn't read any of the effects. I was just like, that's a 4,500 beater. I'm just gonna go ahead and ring that away. Like, I don't care about taking 45. It means keeping that off the field. So I top deck Zephyros and decide to normal summon it. So I attack into his Blaze Man. He negate attacks me again. I'm just like, bruh, why you gotta troll so hard? So anyway, I set my pot. He sets his Jar of Greed and then draws and then goes for another pot, which I've never understood. Like, that's one of the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's sort of like when Skill Drain was at 3. I was always like when you get rid of one skill drain, your opponent always has a second one. It's the same thing with pot. You always draw into another pot when you have it. So he attacks, and I collude away his Blaze Man, and he passes turn. I draw, and I realize now that I have Black Whirlwind in my hand, I actually can generate a bit of advantage main phase 2. I decided just to attack first because I feel like that was the most optimal thing to do. So I attack both his monsters, and I don't really care. Like, you let him get a search. And I overlay for Force Tricks. If you don't know what this card does, I believe it's still an OCG exclusive, and it's a generic rank 4 that gains 500 attack for each wing beast you control. But the other effect is the important one. Once per turn, it can add 1 level 4 Dark Wing Beast type monster from your deck to your hand. I wish it would have said level 4 or lower, because it would have been really cool to see like Blackwings get their own like King of the Feral Imps, so to speak, but it's for the deck. Like, you don't need more than one copy. Like, it's good enough for what the deck needs. So anyway, so I decide I have Whirlwind in my hand. I don't want my hand to be too thin. So I search out Chris, which Chris is another of the new cards. Chris, I think, is my favorite because I love how it's immune to spell or trap, cannot be destroyed by spell or trap effects. So if your opponent with Dark Hole and Regeki being at 2, and Torrential is more popular than ever right now. So I feel that this card is it's so funny when someone tries to Torrential and then you're just like, oh, I still have a 1900 beater on the field attack. So anyway, I draw, and I go for Blizzard because I know I can make a Nullthong next turn to hit him for game. So he top decks Torrential, and I think he's thinking that he probably didn't read Chris very closely. Most players don't. And he goes Rhoda, searches, and then dualities, but adds Econ for some reason, which that was kind of boggled my mind that he added Econ but not Cylinder, and he passes without setting any cards, thinking Torrential's gonna nuke the entire board. So I draw, and I go Blizzard, and he tries to Torrential the field. So I just go ahead and lance Blizzard to keep it on the field, and then Chris gets to stay, so I still get. And then Zephyros comes out of the graveyard. I Synchro Summon for Nullthong, burn him for 800. Then normal summon Panaka, because the other cool thing about Nullthong is it's basically like a walking Constellar Pollux or Evil Swarm Caster. That's a really cool effect since it allows you to get more pluses off of Black Whirlwind, which is a really nice effect. So I Synchro Summon for Hawkjoe and bring Nullthong back, and then Synchro Summon for Armor Master, and this is sort of what I love about the new Blackwing support. Like, I feel like the deck had a lot of problems, like maintaining putting a massive amount of board presence on the field, especially like in a fast-paced format like this. Being able to drop and it's nothing to sneeze at having an Armor Master and a Hawkjoe and a Nullthong on the field at the same time. So and then I go for game, and that's pretty much it. So my thoughts on the new Blackwing support are that it gives the deck not so much consistency, just bigger. It's not so much consistency. It's just the deck got better cards. I mean, having more consistent searches, and Chris, of the 4 new cards, like Chris is my favorite. But like, I feel like it's really gave the deck what it was missing. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this video today. Really appreciate it when people watch my videos. Tune in on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. Also, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/aurastorm43. I've permanently moved my stream time to Thursdays at 2 to 5 p.m. So follow me there if you'd like to watch me play Yu-Gi-Oh on Twitch. And if you like what you saw from this video, please subscribe. This is Aurastorm signing out.